Have any of you seen this paper? It's about you. We published a paper last year trying to define what social workers did. A nice, easy task. What it does try and do is try and set out some of the core things and attributes for social workers. So when you're thinking about, well, actually, how do you explain this to children and families? This is a starting point for you to think about, actually, is this what we do? It's been used quite widely in adults to try and reclaim the territory of social work in terms of the skills that social workers have, dealing with complexity, and not just safeguarding, but a bit about that element of therapeutic change, the bit about working with communities. What's been interesting in the last year is that when I first started college 18 months ago, it was very clear in adults we were talking about social workers working in the community, thinking about assets-based assessment. And last year, that's come back into children and families' lives. So I'm actually starting to hear about, so children's social workers should know about a community and should be part of the community setup. They should be focusing on positive strengths-based assessment. And I'm really pleased about that, because I think the debate in children and families has been a lot quiet and subdued compared to adults. So do take a note, do take a look, and I'm happy to send links out. Again, that's another one on mental health. If any of you are involved in CAMHS, there's a relevance there. And policy. You won't see it because it's in London, but the discussions are happening at various levels with the chief social workers. You'll meet Isabel this afternoon. Meeting with her, meeting with Lynn Romero, the chief social worker for adults. Very much lots of discussion with the Department of Education and Department of Health, thinking about what they want to do, what their ministers want, and actually how helpful is that to children, and what needs to happen to be effective. And it's been interesting, because have any of you looked at the knowledge and skill statements for children? Are any of you aware of them? Well, an important piece of paper, because that's initially talking about those at ASYE level having to pass an examination of sorts, and then talking about supervisors and practice leads, and look at what you need to do to be passing to get to those levels. Isabel may well touch on that this afternoon. That's going to influence you. We've had interesting discussion from the first draft through to the final draft about what that was about, because again, the feedback from the first draft was very child protection, and it's trying to go back to children and family social work. Similarly, working with Ofsted, the Children's Office of Children's Commissioner, and NICE. There's lots of stuff happening in the background about trying to shape policy, trying to shape quality standards, to be far more focused on the experience for children, and especially around making sure that we get the voice of social work there. We try and be a voice for the profession, alongside others. We have media champions. I don't know if we have anybody locally, but we do. If any of you are interested in training to be a media spokesman, and what that means is about speaking for social work, not for your local authority, not for your employer, but as a social worker, then drop me an email or speak to me afterwards. Because we really want, and I'm sure you're fed up of hearing people talk about social work and not understanding it. You as social workers, you know the reality. We want to encourage you to use your voice. And again, that can be locally in terms of just doing a short statement, or it can just be going on radio, as we do, or TV, and we do get social workers out there. And we've got good relationships, but it's about you. We need more of you speaking up for the profession. So, if you're a college member, here's what we try and do to help you flourish, to help you to grow. All of you will have seen the PCF. We have a PCF app to help you think about how can you use it more actively to think about your own development, your own professional development and personal. We have Knowledge at College, which means if you're a member, you can ask a question and we will get a referenced answer, 500 words to you within 5 working days. If you're a student, we don't accept essay questions, but just in case. But again, that's a service to any member. And we encourage you to use it because we want to make sure it's evidence-based practice. It's informed by what's known. We have a regular magazine, e-books and journals. Again, we have a few journals, but we have about 60 e-books, and they're used regularly. And anybody can download. And if you're a member, you can download them and access them again and again and again. A mentoring service. Again, if you're an ASYE or experienced, having an access to a mentor just to help you think, take time away and reflect about who you are, what your practice is, or where you want to be. That's important. All of us. I think I was quite lucky when I first practiced because I had a team where one person was 20 years qualified, one was 15, one was 10. I had my natural mentors there. Now, with the changes, there's far fewer people with experience within your team. So having that opportunity to speak to somebody who's a bit more informed, a bit wiser, is really important. And just form community of interest, the opportunity to engage in debate.